Attention Delaware small business owners. If you're looking to grow in 2025, I encourage you to check out the Delaware Division of Small Business Edge Grant Competition. STEM companies can earn up to $100,000 and entrepreneur class companies up to $50,000. Applicants must employ 10 or fewer individuals, be majority located right here in Delaware, and have been in operation less than 7 years.
For more information, visit de.gov/edge.
Today on the agenda, we welcome Kevin Caneco, a dedicated New Castle County Councilperson representing the 12th District. That is my district too. Kevin is a strong advocate for fair and responsible development within the county and championing policies that ensures developers pay their fair share in impact fees to support local residents and essential services. Kevin believes that the right of big builders should not come at the expense of the community, and he is committed to prioritizing the needs of his constituents. From preserving open spaces to fostering economic growth, Kevin is working to create a balanced and thriving New Castle County. Stay tuned as we discuss Kevin's vision for development and advocacy for equitable policies and his dedication for improving the quality of life for all residents in the 12th District. Kevin, welcome to the agenda.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, anybody that is a first time, we need to get a bell or something for our first time guest. We're just so excited to have him here. It's been a great season. A lot of politicians are coming on. A lot of politicians are actually asking to come on. That's a first for us.
That's good.
No solicitation necessary. And I've seen your post, and I think a lot of people have seen your post. I've seen your signs. I said, I gotta get to know this person. Because they're outspoken, and we love outspoken people. And when you're outspoken like that, you know that you care about the people. You're ensuring, and our tagline on this show is ensuring that people know that they are on the agenda, that their issues are on the agenda, and they're being looked after and is being understood. And you've done that at County Council, and this is your first term, so kudos to you.
Thank you, appreciate it. No, it's great to be here, and you know, I've had a great time so far on County Council, addressing some of the hard issues that face this county. You know, when I ran in this campaign, a lot of people said, "You're too young. You haven't been around long enough. You're just not ready." But what I said is, you know, I care about the issues that affect the people of the 12th District that I represent, like your neighborhood, like my neighborhood in the 12th District, whether it's south of the canal, north of the canal. And I say, we're gonna make a difference in County Council, and we've been there 2.5 months, and we're trying to do that.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, it sounds like you have like a vast employment history and where you come from. You're not a native Delawarean. Please let us know.
Yeah, so no, I grew up in Staten Island, New York, a little working class neighborhood in Staten Island. I left at 18 for college, went to college, and then got commissioned as an Army officer at 22 years old and traveled the world, working at Fort Campbell, Kentucky with the 101st Airborne Division, going down 25th Infantry Division, deployed to Afghanistan with that division there, and then worked at the 20th Sea Burney Command.
We both worked at the same place.
Right there in Maryland.
So, love it.
And then that's what brought me to the area. Bought a house while I was actually working out in Maryland, here in Delaware, and settled down to go to law school. I always had an itch to study the law, and I went out to Delaware Law School, and then became a public defender. So it's been a good ride. I've been blessed to live all across the country, but very happy to be here in our great state of Delaware.
Yeah, I think public defenders, I think they're great. They're the last, it seems like, it used to be, I used to think law enforcement was that last defender of the people. Yeah. But now it seems like the public defender is the last defender of the people and the people's rights, especially now in this climate that we're living in, where people's rights are being just stepped on. Hats off to you.
Yeah, it's really hard because, you know, not everybody in this country can afford an attorney, right? And people are arrested every day for small crimes and petty crimes, and they don't know their constitutional rights. They don't know, you know, if they can go home at the end of the day. And I think public defenders have an extremely important job in ensuring that they can do that. So yeah, I'm very proud of the work I do and all my colleagues do every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. want to get into, you disagreed with then County Executive Matt Myers' ruling on regards to fees for builders.
Yeah.
Now he's moved on, is now our 75th governor, I believe, 74th, 75th, something like that. And you're dealing with these fees still. You made it very clear to me in your post, right? Mm-hmm. These builders are making a boatload of money, especially in Middletown. I can't begin to tell you, I mean, the amount of building that's going on there. It doesn't look like it did 2 years ago. It doesn't look like it did 3 years ago. It's a sprawling town and throughout the county. But having those fees going back to homeowners and taken away from constituent services and all these other things that we could utilize, it just doesn't seem right. I see your point.
Yeah, listen, impact fees haven't been raised since 1999. Mm-hmm. And right now, I think builders are profiting off southern Newcastle County, all over through Newcastle County, making a lot of money. Why can't the constituents, why can't the working people of Newcastle County have a little of that money back to go to fire services, to go to support our police services, support our parks, support our libraries? So I was really baffled by Matt Myers' decision to veto this bill that was supported at the time by a majority of council, because it was sound and sensible legislation that simply said, builders, pay your fair share. And it's not going to put any builders out of business. It's not going to stop any housing or building across the county. But what it is going to do, Kerwin, is it's going to do something very important. It's going to help fund those libraries, those parks. So, we have the new Southern Newcastle County Park, but right where we live down there. It's going to help fund those services. So I think it's time, that long overdue, that builders pay their fair share and that people have equitable services in this county.
Yeah, I do too, and I appreciate you, really looking out for us. What are some other, with all the things that are going on, what are some of the hot issues right now on county council? Yeah,
so some of the hot issues are, we're dealing with zoning every day, right? Mm-hmm. So making sure that we don't have this sprawl of overdevelopment, that we're pacing it out equally, that we're making sure that the infrastructure is there. South of the canal, we have a lot of issues where we're just putting up these developments, but we don't have the infrastructure. So you have traffic on 299, you have traffic on Boyd's Corner Road now, you have traffic on 13. Our commute times to Wilmington to Philadelphia continue to increase every day. From 40 minutes to 45 minutes. I think in a few years, there's been studies, it could be up to an hour. How are we addressing those issues? And then we're dealing with issues every day, addressing our Newcastle County Police Department, ensuring that our officers' authorizations, we're short right now, are filled. We're having a new director of public safety come in, and we're going to have a huge issue with our fire services and ensuring that they're fully funded. So looking at those issues are going to be some important things, but we're going through a big transition right now. Marcus Henry just came in as county executive, kind of putting his team in place. And as his team gets in place, we're going to roll through. But it's a big transition time in Delaware and Newcastle County for sure.
So I want to touch a lot of folks that I talk to within the county. One of the things that does come up is the policing and whether or not the county has had its issues in regards to dealing with its citizens in a respectful manner. The county is also very short-staffed. Yeah. More so that I would look for the council and the county police to kind of work together in regards to dealing with that issue. But what are they doing to address the shortage in numbers?
Well, we've increased the starting pay, which is a start, right? Because unfortunately, we have a lot of county police officers that are going to smaller departments. They're going to Smyrna, they're going to Middletown. Some of them go to Delaware State Police, which have a higher paying salary. We want to be as competitive as we can be in the market of hiring the best police officers, because policing is one of the most important jobs that we have. I see it every day as a public defender. I see it every day as somebody who grew up, my father was a police officer for many years. So I have that balance of seeing both sides and understanding the strain, but making sure that we also have the most trained and professional police service that we can have, because interactions with people every day is a police officer's job. It's not locking people up. It's making sure people have options and ability to go somewhere, or ensuring someone gets out of the cold. Like, we're dealing with this frigid weather today. How can police officers help? That's what we should be looking for. So we're looking at increasing, pay and salary and getting a little more creative in the recruitment industry here in Newcastle County. But listen, policing's facing a shortage all over the country. It's nothing unique to Delaware, unfortunately, and something that we're going to have to work through.
It's not a popular job as it once was,
No.
and people are making it clear by just not applying,
Yeah.
right? Just not applying. Now, on this program, we talk about education a lot. I understand that the county doesn't directly deal with education, but you may have noticed in the city of Wilmington, the city council president has made it clear that the city of Wilmington wants to begin to develop some level of accountability in regards to education for city residents. Are you getting the same pushback, the same questions from your constituents about the failing schools in Delaware?
Yeah, I mean, it's a question that we get. We're very blessed that I live in Appoquinimink School District, which I know is a very highly rated school district. I also have Colonial School District in my district, and there's lots of questions about can we do better. We have questions about Appoquinimink School District and Colonial School Districts, starting salary for teachers as well.
Yeah.
Education, like you said, it's not a county funded program, but I think there's things we can do working with our state partners to make sure our next generation of kids, I have a 9-year-old, are prepared as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you look at the studies and you look at the statistics, like you said, Delaware is not doing well right now. And how do we address that? And I want to work with my colleagues who represent more of the city area, like as in Councilman Hollins and Councilman Street, ensuring what can we do with the new administration here, as you said, with Matt Meyer, to address those, because preparing our next generation is our most important task, I think, moving forward.
The county's collecting the property taxes, right?
They are.
The property taxes go to what? Education, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
I think the county does have a little bit of say in that, and I understand that the way it's set up, it's just kind of funnels through, and the county acts more as a bank than anything else in regards to those taxes. But there has to be some level of accountability somewhere. Like if if you're going to get this money, we need to see some progress in regards to where we're ranking in the school, and in regards to education. We can go down this road over and over and over again, but I still think that it's if we all work together, we can solve these issues in regards.
And
to
listen, I think we have an outdated referendum system as well that talks about, we have these votes every 2 or 3 years, depending on what district you're in. It says. And then people get mad, and then some people say, hey, I don't have kids in the school system. Why should I be paying into this? Mm-hmm. And, again, this is a question, I'm not trying to kick the can to Dover, but Dover would have to reform that and look at, should we just have one unified district, one unified school district? Philadelphia has a school district. New York has a school district. They have huge populations. I think we could do that in Castle County as well, and it might solve some of the issues, but I understand that there's going to be a lot of conflict with that if we really move forward with that.
Conflict is a part of life, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know much progress that has happened without it.
Yeah.
So,
no, I know.
Unfortunately, the Delaware way of keep it easy, keep it cool, you can't do that forever. We're going to have to get it out in the open, and I know it's hard and politically and trying to keep everybody happy, but at sometimes you're going to have to do something.
Well, and that's what I said. I said it when I was sworn in my initial speech. I think the old Delaware way isn't working for Delawareans. The old Delaware way of
not anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Not anymore.
When we're talking about slapping backs and doing this, and I help you and you help me, listen, if we're talking about collegiality and being nice to each other, of course, we enjoy that in Delaware. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I think the old Delaware way, as I call it, has helped a small population of people in Delaware, mostly the rich, mostly the powerful, mostly the connected, and we gotta fight against that. Now,
right.
The new Delaware way needs to include everybody, whether you live in East Wilmington, whether you live in the suburbs, whether you live in Middletown, wherever you live, everybody should have an opportunity in the state.
Mm-hmm. And how much are you working with the folks down in Dover in regards to making better things happen for the county? Is there really this firewall that's set up where you just deal with county and you might talk to your representative, your counterpart every now and then, or is this a true team effort?
I want it to be a team effort. I think there is a lot of schism sometimes between the county and Dover and the state, and people say, I got my job, you got your job, but it's absolutely
But that goes back to the Delaware
a connected
way
effort. Yes, it is. It goes down to the Delaware way, and we need to break that mode. And I want to reach out, and I have a good relationship with my state legislators that I work with. I've talked to Marcus Henry extensively about this. his mother was a legislator down in Dover for many years. He has relationships down there. I said, we have to make sure the county and the state work together. And again, Matt Meyer is coming from the county to the state. So I think we have an opportunity to kind of reshape things.
But I think it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you have Marcus Henry, and I had him on the show, and he made it clear, like part of his responsibility now in this new role, you're gonna have to build some bridges.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to repair some, and then you're gonna have to rebuild some.
Yeah.
And I think if that mindset, we have you here now and a few new people that know that old way isn't gonna work, and we're not doing the slap on the back, as you said, it's a great opportunity for change.
I agree. I think we got some young, talented leaders that are kind of changing. Even the Wilmington City Council, we got some new faces. I'm good friends with Kobe Owens, other folks over there, and we're somewhat of a new generation, I think, of leaders here in Delaware, and we really want to fight for working people, fight for everyday people, and that's going to be hard and it's going to be difficult, but I
love the transparency of the new folks.
Yeah.
You brought up Kobe and all these other brand new legislators. They want it to be very transparent to the public what they're doing.
Yeah.
No more behind closed door deal stuff going on. Let's keep it open. Where's the money going? What are the actions? And here, city, county, state, this is it for you to see.
Yeah, and sometimes that's really hard because you do have powerful interests within the state.
Absolutely.
That are very well funded that will say, you want to do that? Well, we'll find the primary opponent against you, or we'll do this. And you know what? I think people like me, Kobe, other people, Medina in Dover, we've made a stance where we're like, we don't want to be career politicians. So if you want to come at us, you can come at us all day.
Right.
It hasn't been working well for them so far,
Right.
by the way. So we're there for people. We're there for the right reasons. We're there because we care about this state. We care about our families. We care about our neighbors. And we want to change what I think is a broken Delaware way. That's just, helped the rich and the powerful and the connected in Delaware for far too long. And I think you're starting to see some change. It's incremental, but we're going to make more.
Yeah, I'm excited for the output that's coming out. Now I have to ask for the folks in the 14th district. Okay, are we going to get a Wawa? Is there going to be some sort of gas? We'll just take the pumps. You don't even have to put the store there.
Listen, so we're going to get that Wawa on 13. It's going to happen. It's all approved now. Hopefully they're breaking ground, I think, within 12 to 15 months.
12 to 15 months?
I know. It's kind of a process. But we're going to get that Wawa. Trust me, as a guy who makes that left on Boyd's Corner Road into 13 all the time, I want the gas station just like anybody else. Grab my coffee and get some gas. We're in a gas desert in that area.
Yeah, we are.
We really are.
We were in a food desert in that area.
I know. Well, now we're getting the town center. We're going to have a
But is that going to be 12 to 15
months?
No,
they're working it now. But I'm hoping soon. But unfortunately, I can't control how fast.
So we can build a supermarket and a town center and complete it, but we can't build a gas station.
Listen, I want that Wawa as much as you do, but
so is it bureaucracy that's holding it up, or is it?
Well, it's through the approval process now, and now we're just waiting on the Wawa folks, as I call them, to kind of just go ahead and break ground on it. So I owe them a phone call to make sure that we're on par, we're on course for them. But I'll definitely check in.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it. We'll update you. For everyone on Boyd's Corner Road and that side of Middletown that watches the show, you heard it here. I had to get it checked. The supermarket is coming and the gas station is coming. And I get more questions about that. And I said, I'm not that person. I know the guy, but I'm not the guy that can get that information. But it's things like that burns people up, though, Kevin.
Yeah. Listen, local issues are some of the most important issues. County council, we are on the ground dealing with these local issues that a lot of people don't pay attention to, but are really important, like your sewer issues. We deal with sewers in the county. Development issues, right? Nobody cares until all of a sudden a new development pops up next and they go, whoa, and then it's the biggest thing on their horizon, right? So we're not dealing with the controversial like abortion issues or those. We're dealing with everyday quality of life issues, like you said, policing, zoning, sewer issues, making sure that the streets are okay. We deal with those issues every single day, and they're really important. So I hope more people, tune in to county council and
Yeah.
get informed on county council, because the work we do is very important for quality of life for everyday citizens. Yeah.
So is it just population alone that you use as a determining factor when you're saying that, the area is too dense for another shopping center, or for zoning for another development, or what have you? What is some of the criteria? Because some people just don't know.
Yeah, so the zoning in Newcastle County is governed by something called the Unified Development Code, which is a local law that was drafted in 1997 that kind of oversees how development will go. And there's a bunch of criteria that goes into it. It looks at community, it looks at character of the community, as they say. It looks at population trends. It looks at a bunch of different things, right? And it has to go through a process through the land use department in Newcastle County that studies it and makes sure it's okay. And then it goes before eventually through county council. And we take a look at it and we will vote on a development. There's a myriad of things that go into where development should be and how development should be. And one of the big issues that I've been pushing back on developers is, make sure the proper infrastructure is there. Mm-hmm. So we don't have clogged roads. So we don't have overcrowding schools. So we don't have these issues that we're dealing with every day because developers just want to make money. And I get it. Listen, it's America. Everyone's trying to make a buck. I got it. Developers are doing the same thing. But at the same time, I'm their check, whether they like it or not.
Right.
To say, slow down, this isn't working, how can we get it? We need more DART bus services. We need more, as you said, gas stations or fire services, or the police response isn't quick enough. But for too long, it's been the wild, wild west in Newcastle County, and developments just keep getting passed, and here we are today dealing with a lot of issues that we shouldn't be dealing with.
Right. I don't know what the count is of red lights in Newcastle County, but it seems like we have more daggone red lights in Newcastle County than in any other county that I've been in for some time. And I've gone to Hartford County now for almost 20 some years. So I think that we could do better in regards to zoning. I'll just leave it there.
I agree with you. I think there's more creative, better ways of looking at things on how we do our planning, how we lay out these developments. Right now, we just have crazy sprawl that's just not working for anybody. Mm-hmm. And if anybody thinks, if they go south of the canal, oh yeah, this is good, this is working, there'd be a few people actually saying that.
Mr. Caneco, thank you so much for joining us on the agenda. We hope it's not the last time.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's been a great information source. How can people get in contact with you if they would like to send you an email or from the county?
Sure. So my name, Kevin, Kevin, it's dot, and then Caneco at newcastlede.gov is my government email. And then if people want to find me on social media, the good thing about a unique name like Kevin Caneco is there's only one of them. So if you just plug in Kevin Caneco or Google Kevin Caneco, I'll pop up, follow the Facebook page, follow Instagram, follow other networks, and I try to keep up everybody informed of what's going on in county council.
Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Councilman Caneco here on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching us, and we will have more information out to you hopefully in the next week or so. So we'll see you then. Be safe. Take care of one another.